going to bed, I was just like, prick. Like, just fucking, it just popped into my head like one of the biggest stories of the past few days. Fucking forgot it. I even said, didn't I? Oh, there's probably something else I've forgotten. You know what it's like.
Yeah. I forgot to mention the whole Apple and xCloud thing last week. Yeah.
And so we missed Tim because Tim used to be the newsman, didn't he? He used to
Yeah.
fucking know
Well, to
everything.
be honest, I actually had it written down, but I just
All right.
because I just got distracted because we were talking about so much other stuff, and then obviously the show dragged on for so long. I just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah, I can't remember what we ended up chatting about. Oh, that was it. Air shows and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was dying for a piss the whole time as well.
Oh, you should show a bottle next to you or something.
Oh no, I should do. But there we go.
Oh, let's quickly have this then.
Yeah, man. Oh, hang on.
At least the weather's been
Yeah.
reasonable the past couple of days. It's been humid as shit today, though.
Are you sure you didn't mention it?
Like when I woke up, it was so misty outside.
Sorry, mate. What'd you say? I was talking to the
I was just saying
missus.
it was like really humid today, like in parts. Like when I woke up this morning and went out at about 5 in the morning, it was so fucking misty.
Yeah, well, so I've been working all day, so I mean, because I work from home, I don't usually really do anything. But I went for a walk today just to get out of the house, and it was warm. It rained a little bit, but it was warm. Yeah.
Some places are having what do you call it, aren't they, at the moment? Thunderstorms, isn't it?
Yeah, we had a thunderstorm the other day, but it only lasted for about 5 minutes, and it was a bit of a shitty one, to be honest. I was very disappointed.
Yeah, we had one that sort of like it started for a little while and then pretty much stopped as soon as it started. It hammered it down for about 2 or 3 minutes, and I was like, "Yes, keep it up." And then it just stopped, and I was just like, "Pathetic."
Yeah. Right, just let me know
It's
when you're
like,
ready, dude. Are you still having a smoke?
yeah, give us another sort of few minutes. Yeah, I just don't
Alright.
want to make noise while we're recording.
Yeah, it's cool, mate. It's cool. That's all good in the hood. Oh dear. So, who's watching on the stream? Say something. Say hello. I can see there's 3 of you watching. New record.
Doctor Disrespect numbers, mate.
Yeah, mate. One day I will hit the stream button, and I will get 50,000 people. Maybe in my dreams. There we go.
That's got to be quite harrowing, though, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, you think about it. You think, oh my god. But I suppose you just get used to it, don't you? Yep. Griffey, I can see you're there, and Byron and Dougster. How are you all doing? Griffey sends us a... Is that a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
Oh, there you are, you fucking
Hello,
little
Byron.
shit. Nothing on hand. I'm gonna have to sacrifice my for this.
Just waiting for Darren to have a cancer stick, and then we'll be ready to rock.
What, you want to be dead, you little bastard? Oh, you are good. Fuck. So I was just there where I was hanging out my window. I've just kept feeling cobwebs, mate. And then looked up in the corner of the window, and there was a spider.
Spider.
There was one at work today. It was fucking monstrous.
Oh, what was that? Nobster subscribed. Hello, Nobster.
How did
Legend. He subscribed as tier 1. Legend.
There was like a massive spider at work this morning, I found.
Yeah, you got to be nice to spiders, mate. They're part of the food chain. They get rid of all those nasty little bugs.
Yeah, also, like, not
What's
with
that, mate?
any insects or Sorry?
Well, you cut out.
All right. I'll just leave things alone if they're outside. It's only if they're inside I get the arrows.
Oh, I normally just catch them and put them out the window.
Some things are just too freaky to grab hold of.
I'm Oh, Byron quit vaping. Wow, well done, Byron. Good, congratulations. He quit smoking. He was smoking, and then he was vaping, and now he's gone. He's quit. Nice one, mate. It's
That's the
hard to
best way
do.
to do it.
It's hard to
That
do,
is the best
mate.
way to do it.
Yeah, I smoked for about. I started smoking when I was about 14.
Naughty boy.
Oh, I know.
I didn't start until I was 18.
And then I
Or was it
quit
17?
when I was around 28, 29, something like that. Yeah. Tough, mate. Very tough.
I've always been I've never even been a 10 a day man, though.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Not that makes it any better, but it's got to be better than some of these people that are like 20, 40 a day.
I don't know how people afford it now. I mean, it's like over 10 quid a pack of 20, isn't it?
I don't know how people don't feel sick or get headaches.
Oh no, it's crazy. It's like I suppose it's like alcoholics, right? I mean, you get pissed off. I mean, I'm quite a lightweight, two or three pints, and I'm shit faced. But if you're doing it every day, your body gets used to it, right? And then it takes more and more of the chemicals or the drugs, or whatever, to have that same effect. So, yeah. Anyway, talking about spiders. I've got a spider web on my shoulder, and I'm going to get another tattoo done. Sorry?
Yeah, I was going to say, it's your tattoo, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on my shoulder, but I'm going to get 2 spiders hanging off it, one for each of my children, represent each one of my children, and then have their name spelt out in the spider web as they're hanging off the web. I just think that'd be pretty cool.
It's a bit Charlotte's Web, though.
Yeah, but, you know, I'm a webby, right? So...
That was usually, this is like the sad thing, wasn't it? Write something before it dies.
Yeah.
I'll be ready in a couple of minutes, mate.
All right, mate. Well, yeah, I've got a little bit of news. I've played one game. I can't believe it's been a week and I've only played one game. That's pretty nuts.
It's because the weather's been fucking horrible, hasn't it?
It's been lovely being outside in the paddling pool.
If you've got no paddling pool.
Yeah, I bought one of these ones off Amazon. It was like 20 quid and it is so deep. It's massive. It takes me about 4 hours to fill the bloody thing up.
And it's a kid's paddling pool.
No.
I was going to say.
It's a family one. Like when I stand up, it comes to just under my knees. So it's quite deep, really.
You're talking about 2 or 3 baths worth of water, like to fill it, surely.
Mate, it's awesome. All right, Nobby. Yeah, it is awesome. But the problem I found is if I fill it up all the way, even when it's like 30 degrees, right, the sun doesn't really heat it up, so the water's freezing cold. So what I did this week, because I've filled it up about 3 times this year already. This week I only did it just under half full, and the sun seems to heat it up a lot better, because obviously it's less water to heat up, and it was actually really nice. So yeah,
you don't want it freezing, but you don't want it hot either. Otherwise it just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, it was just perfect. It was during this hot weather, so I was loving it. My boy was loving it. It was good times. Yeah. Right, you ready to rock? No? Yes, no? Hello?
Yeah, pretty much.
32. Here we are, 32. Cool. So what's the order, Switch?
Don't know, mate.
I couldn't get a third, man. I was gutted. I did put a shout out on the old Discord, but no one took the bait.
Ooh.
Okay.
Right, just let me turn the light out, otherwise I'll end up with a fucking nature reserve in my room.
Mm-hmm.
Sorted.
Right, you ready?
Pretty much.
Oh, okay. That's right. I haven't started recording yet. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let me hit the record button. Okay, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1. Hello and welcome to episode 32 of 360 Gamercast for Tuesday, the 18th of August 2020. I'm your host, Mark Webb, Gamertag, PSNRD, SteamRD, Webby, 360G, and joining me on this fine evening is...
Sensei Switch. And that's it.
And that's it, yes. So this is our off week, actually. So as you all know, the show is usually every 2 weeks, but we thought that we would do just a short show for the midweek, for the week off. You know, just there's been a few bits of news out there. There's been one new game come out that I've been playing a lot that I'm really dying to talk about, and I'm really annoyed it's not on Xbox, to be honest. But yeah, it's just gonna be a short show, maybe 30 minutes to an hour maximum. Just something for everyone in the community just to enjoy on the off week, just as a nice surprise when it appears on your podcast feed, and obviously for those who are watching live on Twitch as well. Hello to you guys.
Hello.
Yes, Nobster, Byron, Griffey, and Dougster have said hello in the chat so far. So hello to you guys, hardcore fans right there.
Yep.
Yeah, Darren. So it's been a cool week actually. So I mean, I've only played one game. Well, it's been a hot week, isn't it? To be honest,
Just a bit.
it's been roasting, but it's been cool that a new game came out, which just took me by surprise. Actually, I hadn't heard anything about it at all, and suddenly I just saw a few people just mentioning it on Twitter, and then I was like, oh, I have to check this out. Just have a look on YouTube, and that game is called Fall Guys.
I'm sure Stunty mentioned it last week.
Did he? I don't remember, but you know my memory is shockingly shit. So he may have mentioned it, but I might have zoned out. I
enough.
usually do when Stunty talks, to be honest. But that's a joke. But yeah, so it's free on PlayStation Plus at the minute. Well, it's not free. It's part of your PlayStation Plus subscription, and it's also available on PC. It's not available on Xbox. So it must be a PlayStation console exclusive for the time being.
I imagine it's a time thing. I
Yeah.
can't see them wanting to sort of hold it back from people. I mean, they're obviously a little indie dev, aren't they? So they probably want as many people to play. And to be honest, as you may have experienced, the game has proven to be extremely popular.
Yeah.
And there have been quite a few server maintenances and things.
Yeah. So one thing that I noticed straight away is my character doesn't have a name. It's like Fallout Guy 4022 or something. And what's happened is this game's obviously it's only been out a week or two, and it's already been really badly hit by hackers. And one of the things is people were having very rude names. So they've actually taken the custom name stuff off the game, so you can only have the the names that they give you until they sort out, and obviously until they patch it.
You should just use your tag, your
online
tag that you use
so
for your profile to sign in.
So I'm not sure that it is on PlayStation. I'm pretty sure it's fine because it uses your PSN ID. But on PC, on PC, like most games, use your Steam name. But I'm guessing it's been hacked or something, because that's what I read, that they've taken the custom names out. So, and so the PC version has had a few hackers as well, because I've seen some videos of like people having like giant players and all this sort of stuff as well. So they've got a little bit of patching to do, but I've not experienced, as far as I'm aware, any issues with the game in that regard. But it's taken me by surprise, mate. So I picked this up on Steam, and mate, I've been playing it so much. I think I played it about 8 or 9 hours this week, and that's quite a lot of gaming for me in 1 week at the moment. I've got quite a lot of stuff going on, and it's just addictive. So it's kind of like a battle royale, but it's like set up like a game show, a bit like like Wipeout or Takeshi's Castle. Yeah. So it's 60 players, and it randomly draws one of these like game show obstacle course things, but it's all the graphics are very cartoony and all the characters make silly noises. And if you bump into each other, like in Mario where you bump into each other and you bounce quite fast sometimes, it does that as well. But what keeps me coming back to it is it's just silly fun. Like there is, so what I've noticed already, there's quite a few different levels within the game, like game mode, different
Events or whatever you want
events,
to call them. Yeah.
and they are different. So you've got like quite a few obstacle course ones. You've got a memory one where you have to, like, the tiles on the floor are like bananas, grapes, apples, or whatever, and then you have to memorize where they are, and then like a TV shows which one you're meant to stand on, so everyone's rushing to all these tiles. There's one where everyone has to run through these doors, but some of the doors don't open, so it's like everyone's bouncing into the doors to figure out which one's
That's
open.
exactly like Takeshi's Castle, that, isn't it?
You know, and there's some really ingenious ones, like where you're running through the level and it's just like jumping over obstacles and just random events. But there's one that's really annoying. It's one where the whole level is seesaws, so everyone's racing to get to the end, but you kind of have to work together to keep the seesaws balanced as you're going along the level. Yes. Yeah, it's it can be frustrating, but there's a couple that are. So you got those sort of ones, and then you got one where you have to grab tails off other people. So you run around. It's a bit like, capture the flag off the person, shall we say. You run around with a tail, and you've got to avoid people from grabbing it, and if you lose it, you've got to grab one of someone else or whatever. And then there's another team-based. So the team-based ones are weird, like, because you've got like one where there's a load of eggs. You've got 3 teams, and there's a load of eggs in the middle, and you've got like 2 minutes, and whoever has the most eggs in their team basket wins. And so the team that comes last, all those players get knocked out. And whenever I play it, it's really weird. It's like there's always one team that just gets completely owned. It's like 2 teams just gang up on one team to make sure they have no eggs, so the other teams go through.
Well, from what I've heard from that one is what people have said is, I'm sure someone on the old Twitter said something like, "Oh, what people don't seem to understand is you can steal the eggs back out of the other team's basket."
Yes, that's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really sucks when you're on the team where all the eggs are getting nicked out of, because you know you're going to be knocked out, which is annoying. So yeah, there's a huge variation of levels, but what I would like to see, because I've played it for quite a few hours now already, I would like to see them add more levels in the future.
They will.
Yeah, it's just because when you're playing it a lot, it just gets a little bit samey. But it's so much fun. I mean, I haven't actually played online with anyone I actually know. I've just been jumping on and just having a blast of it, mate, to be honest. It's one of those, you always get that summer game that's always a bit of a surprise. This is that game. It's one of those formulas. It kind of reminds me, you remember on Xbox 360 when you used to get those games a bit like 1 versus 100 and just those silly games where you can jump on with people and just have fun. This is one of those games. Yeah. It's just a lot of fun. I'm loving it. It can be frustrating at times, but I'll jump straight back in and just enjoy it, man. It's really, really good. It's a shame that Xbox players are missing out on it, but if you've got a PlayStation 4, I highly recommend you pick it up. Or of course, if you've got a PC or a laptop or whatever, pick it up on Steam. It's got the Webby seal of approval. It's really good. Really, really good.
If not, you can just find pretty much every popular streamer on YouTube or Twitch or wherever is playing it. It has become extremely popular and the game that everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
Since it came out.
It's actually a nice change of pace, really, as well, because there's because the standard of the game that you play is shooters, right? Or racers. You've got your main kind of games, but a lot of the it's mainly shooters. So it's just it's a breath of fresh air, really, just to play something that's just cutesy and fun all at the same time, and that lots of people can enjoy online together. So yeah, it's a great game, man, and I'm looking forward to talking about this more in the future. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to end up adding more events to it and keeping it going, adding new costumes and stuff. I mean, you've already had like pretty prevalent people in the industry and stuff putting forward ideas for sort of like outfits and unlocks and stuff.
Yeah, because the characters are very cutesy, but there's a lot of, so it's got like a season pass, but it's free. I'm guessing they're going to sell them at some point. So
Yeah,
it's
I
like
imagine.
it's like a normal season. You go up your tiers, and throughout the tiers you get more costumes, and you can buy outfits, with real money as well, and with the just the currency you earn whilst you're playing it as well. I'm just sticking to the normal boring guy because I'm not going to pay money. But I've seen some mock-ups online where Konami want to get in on the action, and they've made a Metal Gear one, which is quite cool. So I think there's quite a lot of companies that are going to try and do deals to get
Oh,
their
that's all good for the developers. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Bit of
yeah,
extra kickback, isn't it? A
yeah,
few sponsorships and stuff.
definitely. So yeah, it's a cool game, man, and I think this will be popular for a while. To be honest, I mean, it's on Steam. It's 15 quid, and I feel like I've got my value for money already just from the amount of hours I've put in on it. So, yeah, it's cool, man. It's really good.
That is good news, mate.
Yeah.
They've actually nailed something, because it did look interesting when I saw the early trailers.
Mhm.
Trailers saw it sort of, and I was a bit gutted to hear about like the server issues at the start, but sometimes
Yeah.
that's a bonus because that it's been really popular and a lot of people are trying to log in.
Yeah.
Which obviously on the
yeah.
PS4 side, sorry, is going to be a given because it's the PS Plus game. So
Yeah.
everyone who's got PS Plus is generally going to download it and give it a go.
Mhm.
Plus, with it being an indie title, it obviously doesn't sort of like suck too much out of your hard drive space.
Yeah. Definitely.
But obviously, Steam sales as well will have
They've
boosted
been
it up.
through the roof, mate. I mean, I think it was like the top selling game on Steam last week. And 15 quid a pop, that's quite a lot of money. So they've done all right. And I mean, I've tried to go on it a couple of times where the servers have been down while they've been, adding more capacity. So, it's hugely popular. That's all I wanted to say on that, really. It's a great game, and it's the only game I played this week.
Oh, nothing else, not even
Nah.
any sort of like little indie stuff or whatnot.
No, I've literally played nothing else this week. I've been very busy, enjoying the sunshine, working and doing my uni work. So, I was, looking after kids and that. There's only so much time in the day. So, yeah, that's it. What about you, Darren? I'll take you've been playing the new Final Fantasy patch.
Yeah, apart from my room about as hot as the inside of the car in Titanic.
Yeah.
And the fact that I doubt the spirits from the Ark of the Covenant would have lasted that long in my room this past week. I managed to sort of soldier through the brand new content for Final Fantasy.
Is that patch 5.3?
That is indeed.
Okay, cool.
And I've been really, really impressed with what I've played so far.
Nice.
To be honest, I mean, obviously, Webby, the story for obviously Shadowbringers has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Like, in general, it could be easily its own Final Fantasy game on its own, without really too much knowledge of what's been going on. But obviously, it's still tying up story beats and everything from going back all the way to sort of like the failed 1.0 launch and then into the Realm Reborn 2.0 and through the various patches there. And this basically is the end of the Stormblood storyline and also kind of one of the other storylines at the same time as well.
Okay.
It's just done so bloody well.
Oh, wicked.
Like, you'll just go through a range of emotions while you're doing it. I mean, after I finished it, obviously I wanted to sort of see other people's reactions.
Yeah.
So I've been watching a lot of sort of people's streams and sort of videos and people have put up, and you just like see grown men in tears and stuff.
Wow.
Like, it's
That's
been
nuts.
quite funny.
I mean, I've said to the missus, I said I'm going to resubscribe to 14 again next month. So I finished my my final uni project's due on the 14th of September. So I don't want to resub before because it'll distract me from doing my project work. So as soon as I'm done, mate, I'm jumping straight back onto 14 because I'm going to have quite a lot of free time then. So
I mean,
Yeah.
you can only you resub for a month, you'll get the story thing done
oh yeah, easy,
in itself
mate.
anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they've actually started now using far more sort of story-based dungeons. I've noticed,
Okay, is that a
like
good
in
thing?
some of the previous. Uh, yes and no. I mean, it is for the time when you're playing through it, but when you're redoing them,
Mm-hmm.
they're still cool, but they don't. It's kind of like something's playing out that it's already happened
Okay.
in the story. Just for example, there was one at the end of Stormblood where you were basically running through, and it was the three companies and everyone teaming up to go through against like the invading Garleans
Mm-hmm.
in a dungeon, and obviously you've got all the different characters involved running around fighting alongside you. This dungeon is pretty much like that. It takes you through 3 of the areas of the actual Stormblood zones.
Oh wow, cool. Okay.
And while you're going through there, you're getting help from sort of characters you've met throughout the story to help fight alongside you,
Nice. That sounds good, man.
sort of a thing, which is pretty cool. But
Yeah.
yeah, the end trial, I will say, you may have some problems with it,
Oh
but
dear. Okay.
maybe not. It depends when you get to it. I was lucky enough to be in a competent group, and we one-shot it in one go.
Nice. Nice.
But a lot of the streams I've seen, it's taken them like 3, 4, 5, 6 more
Oh, how
attempts.
annoying.
It's got 2 phases, and if you fail the QTE
Mm-hmm.
during the phase change, if one person fails that QTE, it's a wipe, and you go all the way back to the start.
Oh, that sucks.
And it's got some crazy mechanics in it and stuff. But it's extremely enjoyable, and the music that plays during it is fucking phenomenal, as
Awesome.
per usual. So yeah,
Nice.
story, awesome. I haven't really touched on too much of the other stuff in the game because there's obviously the main scenario, Beast Tribe quest I've done, which is like the dwarves that sort of do with crafting. It's quite amusing. I've done the new Nier raid.
Oh, what's that like?
Great. You haven't even done the previous one, have
No, I
you?
haven't done any of the near stuff. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't.
When you do that, I'll go through it with you
All right,
because like
cool.
it's still really enjoyable. But they used my favourite music from the original Nier, not Automata, and
Oh,
remixed it into the
nice.
final
Brilliant.
boss music in the dungeon.
Mm,
When it started, I was like, "Oh, it's my favourite!" like that,
brilliant.
while I was laying unconscious on the
Yeah.
floor. Because I haven't worked out the there's a lot of mechanics in that final fight where I was just like, I don't know what the hell's going on, and I think a lot of other people didn't, which is par for the course on patch day,
yeah, yeah.
I suppose. But you'll get stuff over time. But you actually go through areas from Near Automata.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
Like you
cool.
go through that space station, the big circular
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
You travel
Nice.
through that during the raid, going to the command room and everything.
Oh, that's
And there's a
pretty
bit when
cool.
you're battling up the corridor, and it plays exactly like Nier does, where even while you're running up and fighting your way up this corridor, you've got constant orbs coming down at you like a shooter,
That's
and like
cool.
laser beams and that you have to avoid as well and stuff.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll say it's not as good as the first one, like the first raid they did, but
Yeah.
it's still really, really good, and it's still way better than the ones from the previous Stormblood,
Mhm.
like the Rabanasta stuff. Like it was really good looking and everything, but I just didn't like a lot of the mechanics for the bosses, and there was a lot of sort of like stuff that was luck based rather than skill based.
Yeah.
And that does always kind of piss me off a little bit. Where you just like, oh, really? Couldn't have done anything about that. Thanks, game. Sort of a thing, which is always a bit of an annoyance. But yeah, there's also another thing. I've seen brief videos for it, but there is a fight you do in a mech flying in
Oh,
midair.
nice. That sounds cool.
Sort of like some sort of like anime sort of kind of thing. Where a
Nice.
lot of people are sort of like being right into that. But yeah, apart from that, myself haven't really played much else, to be honest.
Fair enough,
Just
mate.
logged in and done dailies and stuff and
Yeah,
sweated.
that's
about
fair.
it.
That's fair, mate. It's fair. Let's say it's the off week anyway. You know, it's because it's been hot as well. You know, it's we've not really played much, have we? You know.
It's starting to cool down though, so
Yeah.
I should hopefully be able to get back on because I've been dying to get back onto Ghost of Tsushima, but while it's been that bad, I just can't concentrate too properly.
Yeah, I see Colin's
Bit of a
picked it
thing.
up now, so I'll be interested to see his thoughts on it as well.
I
I,
I imagine he'll like it.
yeah, yeah. That's just too many games, man. I mean, I was looking at me. I was looking at my Xbox Game Pass on the PC, and
Yeah.
fucking hell, so many games to play just on that. I've got Crosscode that I'm dying to play because that's meant to be amazing. It's all set like in an MMO, but it's all like pixel art graphics.
Right. Yeah.
I want to play Gears Tactics as well. I've not
You
played.
can get that on your phone, can't you?
No,
Oh
it's
no, that's
no.
the pop, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah,
Uh,
it's pop, isn't it?
Fantasy Star Online 2. I haven't played for a while. Halo Master Chief Collection and Flight Sim. It's actually officially out in a couple of days.
Oh, speaking of Halo, shall we hit that? About that?
Yes, so big news that I'm sure everyone's aware about already anyway. The new Halo's been delayed till next year. Shocking, I know.
Whether or not that's actual because of the backlash from the showing at their event, or whether the game just does need a little bit more time, I don't think we'll ever really know.
No, and I think originally this Halo was made for the current gen systems, and then Microsoft probably said, "Oh yeah, we want it to be a launch title for the Series X," and what they showed at the Xbox event of the game, I mean, it was actual gameplay, which is great. It's lovely to see gameplay, but I think a lot of people were disappointed in what they saw, and I think them rushing to push it out and to have a substandard game at launch would do more damage than pushing the game back anyway. So I'm quite happy they pushed it back myself. I know I see Clarky is. Hello, Clarky. And it'll come out when it's ready, and I think that's what game devs should do. To be honest, I mean, how disappointed would it be if you get your Series X on launch day and then you stick in Halo and it looks like a bag of dicks? I mean,
if you're making food, you don't get it out the oven halfway through and just go, here you go, that'll do, do
no,
you?
that's it.
You cook it properly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not that fussed. I mean, I know a lot of people are moaning on social media that the Series X is like naffle decent exclusives on launch, but I think both the systems.
You're still going to have Assassin's Creed and Cyberpunk on launch, so I think you're fine. And those games will take you a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, we don't know what else is coming, do we? Like, there's still a lot of other games that are kind of hush-hush that we don't really know release dates for.
Yeah.
I think they're willing to actually give release dates until they know when these consoles are actually coming out.
Yeah. That's it. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it is a little bit disappointing because people are obviously really wanting the game. But, just wait and it'll appear. So, yeah. So that was a little bit disappointing. And then there was this was big news. Not really big news. Oh, no, this is big news. I'm skipping ahead of my mind. So there's a few stories about Apple I've got. One of them I missed last week's show, and there's a new one, but the second story actually involves Google as well. So the first story, though, kind of ties into the second story. So the first story is xCloud is, as we all know, if you have Game Pass Ultimate, you'll just get xCloud anyway, and you'll be able to stream all your games, which is pretty awesome. And it works quite well, actually. But what's happened is, so it's coming to all Android devices, but it's not coming to any Apple devices. Now, obviously, this is shitty to people that have iPhones and iPads and don't have any
Which
Android
is a lot
devices.
of people.
Yeah, and shame on you, because Android devices are very, very good. But the reason for that is because Apple isn't getting a cut from any of the games that are streamed to the application. That's the reason why.
Is that it?
Yep. So
That's a bit of a piss take.
So-
I didn't obviously know too much of the details. I thought I heard it about they needed to verify every single game or something.
So this is another reason why Stadia isn't. So the Stadia app isn't on Google, and they've said. So Apple came out and said it's because the company cannot review individual games available on the cloud platforms. That's a load of bollocks. They just want all their own shit on there, and this is where we get onto the next story, where Epic have taken so Fortnite has been taken down off the App Store, and then the next day it actually got taken off the Google Play Store. Now, the reason for this is because every in-app purchase within games on those platforms, Apple take a 30% cut, and if it's on the Google Play Store, Google take a 30% cut. But what's slightly different between the two is, with Apple, if you can't get your game on the App Store, you're fucked. Whereas, if your app is on an Android device, you have other ways of downloading the games to your system. So for Fortnite on Android, it's off the official Google Play Store, but you can download it from the Samsung store. Or if you go to the Epic website on your phone, it will download the file straight to your phone as well. So there's still ways around it. I didn't realise it was so popular on phones, by the way. I guess I'm a bit out of touch. But anyway, so the reasoning is, so what the reason it got banned from both the platforms is they added an option in the game. So to buy the Battle Pass is a tenner, and then if you do it through the App Store, and they put two options. So they put the option to buy it through the App Store, a tenner, or to buy it through the Epic's website, £8. So you got a couple of quid off. It's because that's taken off the cut, and then they did the same thing on the Google Play Store as well. So xCloud, not being on Apple, it's all about money at the end of the day. Apple wants their cut, and obviously they're not going to get it. And the thing with Epic and Apple and Google, again, it's all about money. Now, it's quite interesting. So a few people on Twitter actually sent me some stuff today, sent me some articles. And this 30% cut is actually the industry standard. So
Right.
consoles, your PlayStations, your Xboxes and your Nintendos, they all take a 30% cut of all games sold. It's all your third-party games sold. The same with Steam as well. The Epic Game Store, though, only takes 12%, which is why a lot of game developers are trying to move over to the Epic Game Store on the PC at the minute. But like Humble Store takes 25%, Good Old Games 30%, Microsoft Store 30%. So 30% is actually the industry standard, pretty much. But what Epic have now said is because their game has been removed from the App Store, they haven't mentioned anything about Google in this regard. They're now suing Apple for taking the game off the store, and then there's now going to be a big court case about it and all that jazz. So I mean, it's quite interesting. I know. I mean, I've looked on social media, and because I can see both sides, right? I mean, if we go to we'll go away from the Fortnite thing, and we'll go to the xCloud thing.
Well, I will say quickly before we
Yeah.
go to the Fortnite thing, the amusing thing about that is they actually even put like a trailer up in the game about it.
That trailer was hilarious. I'm gonna try and
So
find
taking
it.
the
What
mickey
was it
out of
called?
1984, wasn't it? Taking out
Yeah.
moaning and like free Fortnite hashtag or something, and that.
1980.
But I was like, even went as far as to make a just little trailer thing.
Yeah, it was called hashtag Free Fortnite, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
they've got a new character in the game with it, and he has an apple for a head with a bit bitten out of it as
right.
well, in the same place. Yeah. So it's interesting. It really is. So the thing about so I can see with the streaming services, I think it's a bit of a shitty move of Apple because, you know, Stadia and Microsoft are trying to just, you know, it's an app where the games are streaming from a server, and all it's doing is taking your control inputs and beaming the video onto your screen. That's all it's doing. So you know, I think for Apple to do that, it's a really fucking shitty move because it's alienating their audience. And if there's people that really want to play xCloud, all they're going to do is go out and buy an Android device. I mean, I know some hardcore Apple fanboys that are going to go. Have already said to me, "I'm just going to buy a cheap Android tablet and play xCloud like that."
I mean, you can get cheap tablets for a reasonable sort of
£100,
price,
mate. You can get
well.
an okay-ish Android tablet that'll run it. You know, and it is annoying. But with the Fortnite thing, I'm kind of on the fence on what I don't really have a side I'm with, to be honest. I mean, one thing I don't like in-game microtransactions and battle passes and that, I think it's kind of ruined modern gaming. It's greedy as fuck. It's exploiting children, and in a way it can be gambling, and that's why a lot of countries have actually banned those kind of microtransactions. But you know, but I can see if the 30% thing is kind of the industry standard, then you know, your game is on someone else's platform. If they own the platform, so they can, you know, it's in their terms and conditions, right? If you have a game on our platform, we are taking a 30% cut of, you know, any game you sell on our platform or any in-game purchases. You know that when you sign up to it. But what Epic are saying is that Apple and Google, I suppose, they are being a monopoly and they have no other options. So it's going to be interesting. But then,
yeah, I mean, to be honest, all three of those companies are rich bastards.
yeah, I mean
like,
Epic's
already.
But then, but then I'm thinking about what's going to be the wider repercussions here, because if the court favour Epic, then maybe some third party publishers and developers can go, well, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are monopolies. They're charging us 30% on our games. We think it's out of order. So what's going to happen there as well? So
well, that 30% on the game is why PC players pay less for their games.
yeah. So Hey
Because
Byron has just said
companies have to pay money to put their games on their system. Yeah. Obviously, that they don't have to pay that if they're a first-party studio.
Yeah. I mean, Byron's just said he doesn't think it's about money. Apple worries about hackers exploiting holes in xCloud to steal people's information.
But yet they allow
that's bollocks, mate.
Bloody TikTok and other Chinese apps to be used on their devices. It's kind of
No, and I said, mate. I mean, I agree. I mean, it's Apple's ecosystem, and they make the rules, right? So you got to take it, right? So
that's the main reason I've never had an Apple mobile, is because they've got such a closed ecosystem in comparison to Android.
Yeah.
If I want to put music and films on my phone, I just want to drag and drop them. I don't want to have to log into iTunes and transfer the content to iTunes and then transfer them from it. It's just a ball ache in comparison to how easy Android is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't really get it because I don't game on my phone really, not like proper games.
No, I used to, like when I had a Windows phone, but I haven't since.
So
I've got no enthusiasm.
It's all the kids, isn't it? You know, that are gaming on Fortnite on their phones in school and all that bullshit. But with xCloud, you know, it's Microsoft's vision now. they want people to play games on any screen, but I mean, I don't know if it's me getting old or my eyes are shit. I mean, I've got a big phone. I've got a Note 9, and I find that screen a bit too small to play games on, man.
Yeah,
So,
that's my thing with it. They're
yeah,
making all these games now that are sort of like, oh, look at the fidelity and the graphics on
yeah,
this, that, and the other thing, and it's like now we're going to crush them down onto like a under 10-inch screen
yeah, yeah. I mean, you
sort of a
don't.
thing. And my eyes over the past few years have gotten worse, like, to be honest. And I think that's due to the fact of using mobile phones and computers, and my eyes are having to focus at different like distances too much.
Yeah. Well, it's
I can
weird
see a
because the
lot of
whole
kids in the future
mm,
needing glasses
yeah, but
because of all the phone gaming and using their phones so much,
well,
or they're just going to end up really like short-sighted or something, or
yeah,
long-sighted.
yeah. It's like when you're looking at a screen, it's artificial depth. You know, because you're
Yeah.
actually looking at a flat picture. But because there's that artificial depth in your games, especially, your eyes are trying to focus at something that's far away, but it's actually in reality close. And actually, I mean, that's why I have to wear glasses, man. I mean, my eyes are fucked from all these fucking computer games I've been playing since I was like 6 years old. So,
A lot of people do their work now on computers and stuff as well. When you're always staring, like you say, at a screen, and they're all backlit, so you're basically staring at a light
yeah.
as well.
See, pupils of
Obviously, we
the.
never had the old classic old wives' tale back in the day. You must remember, like, oh, if you sit too close to the TV, your eyes will go skew-iffy and all that nonsense. Do you remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Byron, it's all about the money, man. Apple are all about that money. Well, what makes me laugh though is like my boy's 2.5, and I'll stick, you know, children's cartoon on my TV. I've got a 65-inch TV, and he sits on the floor right in front of the bloody thing. I'm like, how the hell can you see the whole screen? So it just makes me laugh. It's kids, man. I just like to sit close to TVs. Yeah, so I mean, it was quite funny with this whole Epic versus Apple thing, and then obviously the Google Play Store jumped in the next day. Just watching the conversations on Twitter about people who are for Epic, people are against Epic, and it's so divisive. And I was just sitting there, just thinking, both sides have very valid points here. And I'm kind of just sitting on the fence, just waiting to see how it plays out. But, you know, it depends, because you look at Microsoft, right? I mean, they had the monopoly. I mean, they still have the monopoly with operating systems. Then there was that whole thing with Internet Explorer being packaged onto every system. And then the European Court made them put an option to give people a choice of what browser to download when you first launched your computer, which is really bizarre. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of these weird things. But Epic are really trying, aren't they? They're trying to become the next Steam, because the Epic Store, I'd say, it only takes 12.5% cut. I mean, I have the app installed. I don't have any games installed, but they give away some really good games on it every month, like 4 free games every month, and a lot of them are really decent, so I always download them. So I've got actually quite a decent library just from having the app on there. And I think they're just trying to gain more people, because the problem is on PC, Darren, is Steam has taken such a hold. It's what you get used to, isn't it? Right? So,
Well, yeah, that's why there was like you knew that, because that was one of the main reasons why a lot of people get the hump when like a game is like Epic Store exclusive or whatever. It's because it's what you're used to, and you've got to use a different launcher.
yeah,
And obviously, we all know Epic Store. It launched with like certain functions that were missing that people as well were used to having on Steam and whatnot.
But it's simple things like your friends list. Yeah, you have to start again on like Uplay or Origin or Epic.
Yeah, I was about to say
It's a pain in the
pulled
arse.
and then Microsoft Games had their own one as well, didn't they? And
Yeah, but I mean,
have they still got their own?
well, no, it's actually linked to Xbox, so it's actually like, so you just use my Xbox gamer tag, so it's actually that's
Fair
actually
enough.
okay, because I've obviously been an Xbox gamer since forever. You know, I just launch my Xbox app and I can just chat on party chat to all my Xbox friends, right? And a lot of the games are cross-play, which is quite nice. But not everyone's in that position. You know, if they're just purely PC gamers, the whole launcher thing's quite a strange one. I'm used to Steam, but I use Uplay because I really like, obviously, a lot of the Ubisoft games like Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed.
What's interesting is, while you're mentioning the Ubisoft thing, apparently, one of the people who have left company amid all of the scandal stuff that's going on was one of the people who was mainly responsible for a lot of the Ubisoft games being kind of copy and paste, using the same kind of shit in all their games.
Okay, that's interesting.
You know, like having
Yeah.
like the towers and the
Yeah,
open world
yeah,
and the
yeah.
microtransactions, and it's kind of almost like the same thing, but in a
Mhm.
different skin
Didn't he get
as a
sacked for
degree. But
shagging loads of women and leaking industry secrets or something?
I didn't really look into it, to be honest. Like half the times I do look into these things, it's just like cringe, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like where you just
Mm.
like these people should just bloody know better. To be
Yeah, I
honest,
know.
it's unbelievable some of the stuff you read these days. I mean, there was like a thing that I briefly saw. It was like about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. It was like a load of men at DC Comics had to sign a pledge to basically promise to not to rape any of their female staff.
What?
And it's like,
That's just
what
common sense, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's just
exactly.
being a decent human
Exactly.
being.
They're like, I solemnly swear not to sexually assault the female staff at our
Oh
company and
my
stuff. It's like,
god.
what
Fucking
fucking.
hell.
That's like, you learn that just after you start walking.
Oh god. That's fucking. Ugh.
But I guess this is the day and age we live in, mate. You need
Yeah.
signposts and fucking notices everywhere to tell everyone what to do.
Oh
We need the
no.
10 Commandments back again, mate.
People are sheep.
Just
I
someone to
mean, you look
walk
at the
down
whole
from a
mask
hill
thing.
with a load of rules.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's
sorry to cut
amazing.
you off there.
It's amazing how quick the people as a whole can, you know, change how they act and stuff just from a little bit of peer pressure and being told what to do by a higher power. Perhaps that's why religion is so you know, was so popular.
Well,
Or still
as
is.
far as I'm concerned, take this with a salt. To me, religion is just basically making sure people follow a set bunch of principles and don't go around murdering each other.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, it makes sense to me, mate, but there we go.
But yeah, that same religion has also been used to murder people who don't follow those same beliefs.
I know.
It's like, what the fuck?
I know.
Anyway.
Anyway, we're going off topic now. That's all we want to talk about this week, to be honest. I don't think there's
There was
else, is
another
there,
little
Dan?
bit of news that I did see. I think haven't they like given a release date and a price for the new Atari thing?
Oh, it's like
It's
an
basically
Android
like
box, isn't it? It's like 400 quid
glorified
as well.
Ouya.
Yeah,
Yeah, what the
it's gonna
hell?
flippy flop big time.
Like you can buy a I think I remember someone saying like you can buy a Raspberry Pi for like a quarter of the price of it, and it can't even do things that can,
Was
or something like
no.
that.
Wasn't there a new beta that came out for some superhero game?
Oh, the Marvel's Avengers. I briefly touched on it last week. I think it's now an open beta.
Yeah,
I've
people are
seen a few amusing
slating it,
glitches
man.
for it.
It's been
Well, like I
slated.
said last week, it uses every shitty like tactic in like modern gaming. It's got everything. It's got probably season pass, games as a service, microtransactions, exclusive shit for certain platforms, unlocks through fucking drinks and food sponsors and stuff. It's
Yeah.
just like if you like that sort of thing, go for it. And but
Yeah,
it's just
I
something
mean,
I just
people were
would
saying
not
that they've been
do.
playing it and they're just saying it's boring. You play as the characters and they just feel a bit shit, and you just run around the levels just punching enemies, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, that can be fun. I play the Warriors games, and that's pretty much all that's down to them. But obviously, in those games, you get a cast of like hundreds of
Yeah,
characters at times
yeah,
that you can play through. I don't know. It's one I don't want. I'm kind of a weirdo in the fact that I don't want any game to fail,
mhm,
and I want people to be successful. But there's certain things I don't want to be too successful because it'll then, oh, this is fine, so we'll stick it in
yeah,
everything. And it's like, no, it's not fine. Like, so yeah, I want your game to do well, and it's Crystal Dynamics, which have kind of had a bit of a shit time recently, in the fact that they've given us 3 Tomb Raider games that, in my opinion, have been really good,
yeah.
but I think they've technically underperformed
I know,
from
it's
what they
bizarre,
want.
isn't it? You know, they just didn't sell.
Yeah, and now this is their next title, which isn't shaping up to be like what
You,
I think they
well,
hope.
you'll get those hardcore Marvel fanboys that will spunk hundreds of quid on the game, you know. So I'm
Mm,
sure they'll be fine. I mean, you look how popular these superhero movies are. You know, they're all the fucking same, and
well,
people still go and watch the next ones all the bloody time. So
we don't actually fully know that yet. I mean, me myself, I'll watch superhero stuff here and there, but for me, like after Endgame, I was like, no, that's fine. That's good. Leave it. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
did watch the last Spider-Man and stuff, but that to me was almost like just mopping up a little few extra bits from Endgame, so
hmm,
it still had my interest. But a lot of the stuff they've actually got coming out soon doesn't really interest me that much. Like Blade does, because I
okay,
think the guy that they've got playing him's a really good actor and stuff, and I always like the old Blade films. But a lot of their other stuff's just like meh, like not too sure on it, mate.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we don't know. We might finally start to see the slow decline of the popularity of the superhero
Oh, it's about
films
bloody
and the
time,
genre
man.
as a whole because it's saturated. It
Massively,
is
has been for years,
saturated.
mate.
And I know a lot of big film people, like we've heard, like people like Martin Scorsese and that sort of say like they're shit for the film industry basically
Yeah,
because more companies are just willing to throw money in towards those because they're almost like a sure money maker.
yeah, yeah.
Although Bloodshot would probably want a word with you in that regard,
Hmm.
and Birds of Prey. But yeah, we shall see.
Yeah. Shall we do questions, mate?
Yeah, one other thing I will
Yeah.
just briefly mention before we go on. It was revealed this that Resident Evil 7 is now the best-selling Resident Evil game.
Yeah, and I mean it's a great game. So I mean, it well
I'm
deserves it.
surprised.
Yeah,
I'm surprised because I think when it came out, it underperformed from what they
yeah,
wanted by quite a bit. It didn't do particularly well, and I think it was one of those games that sort of spread a bit more with word of mouth.
yeah, yeah,
And to be honest, with it being a first-person horror game,
yeah,
I've got to think that streaming would have helped. Because there's a lot
yeah,
of people that like streaming horror games and people watching people streaming first-person horror games because they like watching the person who's playing it
yeah,
jump in the air every 5 seconds
yeah,
and shriek and stuff.
yeah. That was
So
me
yeah,
when I was playing it. I shat myself.
yes, someone sort of said I saw on Twitter where it's like, oh, if you're wondering about why they decided to continue the stories of the characters from Resident Evil 7 and stick with the first-person viewpoint, 7 is now their best-selling game.
Yep.
And before that, it was 6.
Mhm.
Now, for me, 6 is the worst Resident Evil game I think I've played. Raccoon City or whatever it was. Umbrella Corps, was it?
Oh, I'm not. I don't think I played that one.
You did.
Did I?
It was that really cool looking one where it was like 4-player and you went as a squad.
Oh, I don't remember it, mate. To be
And
honest.
you basically, they released a campaign where you all played as Umbrella, like the Umbrella troops, and then they did a thing a bit later on where everyone played as like the Resistance lot.
Okay. I need
But
to have
yeah,
a look at it,
that
mate. So,
it started really good, but then it was a bullet sponge, mate.
yeah.
Like I remember, like at one point in the game where you bumped into Lickers, like you'd pick up an LMG or something, and you'd unload about 3 clips into a Licker's face, and it was still alive, and you could only hold about 4 rounds of ammunition.
Annoying.
Yeah, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I
Okay.
definitely remember playing it with. I think I played it with maybe yourself,
Was it on the
Peeves. I
360,
definitely
did
played
you
it with.
say?
Yeah, it was on the 360.
Okay.
And possibly even Rubbish Username,
Okay.
because it is quite an old title. And
Hmm.
in it, you actually kill. Is it Leon Kennedy or Chris Redfield or someone like that? You're like hunting them down. If you saw it, you'd be like, "Oh, I remember that."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Problem is, I play so many games, I'll just kind of blur into one, you know.
Mm.
Right, questions
But yeah,
in?
good for Capcom on that. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Bryax87 says, "What's your three favourite games of this gen, and what's your three favourite games of last gen, and which set of favourites wins?"
Ooh,
Hmm.
it's
Ah,
hard. I'd have to like literally just pick stuff out the air. Technically, Final Fantasy 14 could be this gen and last gen. And technically, it might even be the gen afterwards.
yeah.
Because I believe it's coming to the others. In fact, this is what I think is possibly happening.
Yes.
I think they announced obviously Final Fantasy 14 is coming to Xbox, and it will do eventually.
Yeah.
I think they're waiting for the next expansion.
Yeah.
That's what it's got to be. Because if it hasn't turned up by now,
Mm.
it has to be something like that. And then there's people also now tossing around the rumor of Final Fantasy 14 2.
What?
And then maybe doing a a Fantasy Star kind of thing where they just revamp the entire graphics engine for it.
Wow. I mean, it looks really good on PC as it is anyway, and it looks. I
Well,
still think it looks decent on
because of the art
PlayStation.
style it uses,
Yeah.
it's great. I
Yeah.
think it looks fine. The only thing that is horrible about it, in my opinion, is when you really zoom in on the character, you do see pixelation on the outfits and such.
I
But
don't think
apart
that
from
will
that,
happen, man. I don't see it
yeah,
happening for
I mean
many
that's a
years.
dream. That
Yeah.
would be a dream. Like if they literally revamp the whole thing. I mean, technically they may or maybe not be able to do that because obviously in 4.3 now you can fly in all the old zones and
Yeah.
access areas that you
Yeah.
couldn't before. And they said before that that would take a lot of work to do, like which is why they'd never really done it.
Do you have to find those stupid wind
So
currents in the old zones?
no, as long as you've got the speed up things, I think you can fly. I'm not too sure. You'll find out when you load in anyway.
Oh, okay.
That might be a possibility. I'm honestly not too sure. But that's one of the weird rumours that's going around anyway. How true that is, I don't know. I think they'll just probably just do a 6.0.
Yeah.
But if a company is able to do that, good on them. But that's going to take a lot of resources to literally reskin every single piece of
Yeah, I don't
content
see
they've
happening,
ever
mate, to be
released.
honest. Okay, so what's
Which
your
is like
games,
what?
Darren?
Yeah, sorry. Rough stab at this gen. I will throw in Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Yeah.
God of War.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I don't know. It's a hard one. I couldn't really sort of say off the top of my head for the other ones because I'll probably say something and then be like, sort of a thing. But they're two that I will say will definitely be up there at the end of this gen in my top five, no matter like those. And last gen, I think we did a podcast on
Yeah,
this,
we
but I'll
did.
just throw in like Skyrim would have been my number one, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might have had 14 at number 2 or something back then, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. But yeah, go back and listen because I'd probably name completely different games by
Yeah,
now.
that's it when you're
'Cause
just
I've
on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah, you used to be like, what about this? What about that? I mean, Cram the Man I see this week has been playing Singularity,
Yeah, great game.
which is a fucking great game from
Yeah.
last gen. That it was kind of one of the unsung heroes that sort of came out of nowhere and didn't get the shine it deserved, and took a lot of inspiration from Bioshock. There you go, Bioshock. That would be in my top 2 or 3 from last gen. Easy. So yeah. Anyway, you go for it.
So this gen it would be Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Mind you, I'm still in the city gambling place area still. Haven't
Oh, you need
continued
to
on with it
crack
since
on with it,
then.
mate. You need to hurry up with that.
Too many games.
Oh, there's been a lot of good games like Red Dead Redemption 2, loved it,
No,
and the Yakuza games have to be in there. Yakuza 0, I would say, would be in there 100% because that kicked me off on playing through the whole series. For the last gen, it would be Castlevania Lords of Shadow, Lost Odyssey,
still hold a candle for that.
and what was that? Because I can't remember one. There were so many good games on the 360.
Ghost Recon.
Yeah, probably Ghost Recon, Graw. Yeah, Graw 2. Let's go for those. There's probably something that, I mean, I know definitely Castlevania and Lost Odyssey were in my top 5 in the podcast. I can't remember what my other ones were, but yeah, we'll go for those. And I have to say,
Lost Odyssey, I will say, like, I'll just briefly say where you touch on Lost Odyssey.
yeah,
I think Lost Odyssey is one of the first games where I've actually pretty much cried, like just blatantly outright.
yeah,
Like quite early on, there's a scene when basically a character realizes that they're related to another character as they're dying, and I'm just like, and the music choice that they chose as well was just like, you're literally just pouring salt in the wound here, aren't you, and squeezing me like a lemon.
yeah, yeah, man. I mean, it was a great game. It really was. It's probably one of the best RPGs I've ever played. And I have to say, last gen, Xbox 360, PS3 gen, I actually think had better games than this gen, to be honest.
Yes, and there's. I'm not too sure if that's the case, but there's definitely a bigger quantity of good games.
Yeah.
But you think, like, back then, I remember you'd get 2 or 3 games launch a week, and you'd have, like, maybe 10 games of quality come out in a month. Like, now it's, like, 2 or 3 games a month if you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Someone in the chat's asked, are we still doing the Forza Fridays? Yeah, I am. I didn't do it this week because I think I was working, and then I just kind of forgot. I kind of gone a bit down on them because I was doing them, and then people just weren't turning up. I was getting like 2 or 3 people turn up at most, and it's a bit disheartening, really. But yeah, I can start them up again. I think as the weather's not as nice, it might get more people to come on. So yeah, I'll do it on Friday. I'll do Forza Horizon.
Yeah, I mean, it's the timing. Yeah. If they release another Forza,
yeah,
and obviously with the whole Game Pass thing,
yeah,
full room on launch, guarantee it.
Yep. Yep. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay.
Is that Facebook and Twitter?
Yeah, and Discord. So I call these places. AJ says, does anyone else feel like this is the most uninspired console launch of all time? Neither console has shown anything to be truly blown away by. I'm not even excited. Are you excited, Darren?
Only for just the new shiny, I guess. But
yeah.
There's been a couple of things that I was impressed by. One of them was obviously cross-platform on anything anyway. It was Resident Evil.
Yep.
Obviously, the new Spider-Man's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
The new Horizon looked phenomenal, but technically it's like we've all seen like the classic thing of like, yeah, we see your trailers and the cinematically way you're done. Show us an actual gameplay. Show us that it looks that good while you're playing it, and you'll get a lot more people excited. I think that's kind of what killed the Halo thing a bit for people.
Yeah.
As well, where you're like, oh, this is actual gameplay.
It's because nothing I've seen gameplay wise for the next gen systems to me has looked next gen, and it's really weird because that feeling. I mean, every console launch, I remember going from the Xbox to the Xbox 360. I was so fucking excited. I went to a midnight launch. I was like, I just had to get it. And then
yeah, but it was a fucking leap. That was a leap. I remember sitting at work
leap.
Because I had a mate who worked at Virgin at the time, and he basically put one aside for my mate at work, and we was both working night shift, security. And on his way home, he drove past and basically was like, "Oh, here's your machine and everything," and gave it all to him. Like he
Nice.
basically dropped it off at the hut, and then straight away my mate drove home, got his like TV and everything, brought it all in, and we all set it up, and he was just playing
Nice.
stuff. And as soon as I was watching like Call of Duty 2, I was like,
Yeah.
fucking
That was a
hell,
great,
like with the
yeah.
smoke effects
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, bloody brilliant. And then I remember being super excited because obviously that generation, the 360 gen, went on for a long time. It was probably one of the longest console generations. And I was super excited.
Which isn't a bad thing.
No,
I don't
man.
think that was a bad
No, it
thing, in
wasn't
my
bad
opinion.
at all. And then I remember being really excited for the Xbox One, and then everyone on party chat going, "What the hell's going on?" And we all were just playing Battlefield 4, which we'd already been playing on the Xbox 360.
Sending each other messages of like, "You've got to turn on the chat when you're in the party."
Yeah.
What? That's why you can't hear. Or
Yeah.
why? Like...
Yeah, because it's just like the Xbox One. I mean, it did have some exclusives, but they weren't like. I mean, Rise, as you mentioned, which you reminded me
Yeah,
about.
Rise and Dead Rising, I was really happy with. In fact, like I obviously got both on launch before as well.
Yeah.
And I played obviously the Xbox a lot more back then because I was mainly Xbox player anyway.
Yeah.
And I think it was the fact that the UI and a lot of other things on the Xbox at the time were so clumsy and weird in comparison to the previous gen, whereas the PS4 was like, do you remember how the 360 works? Here you go.
Yeah, the PS4 was like the Xbox 360 of this gen, wasn't it, when it launched? Yeah. And then,
but
yeah. Go on, sorry.
I would say, like, it had, was it Killzone Shadowfall, which I thought looked fantastic, but I was never a real big Killzone person. So I didn't particularly play a lot of it. I think I mainly just like played Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah. Great game.
Which did kind of look better than, obviously it was in a slightly higher resolution and ran smoother than what it did on the 360. But again, you're always going to get those cross-gen titles anyway, especially from obviously third-party publishers and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, like out of the two though, I will say the games I was still most impressed by at the start of the gen, in my opinion, were Rise and Dead Rising 3.
Yeah, so it's just interesting with the launch of these, with the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, and the rumoured, well, it's kind of been semi-confirmed about the Series S as well, isn't it? But, there was a leak about that, I think I mentioned it in last week's show, but there's just no, it's like that, as I was saying, that feeling, like, I usually get a feeling every console gen, I really want it, day one, I pre-order it like a year in advance, blah, 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 and like, this gen, I'm just like, I mean, some of the games are cool, don't get me wrong, but I'm like, nothing is selling me on why I need these systems at launch.
I think Xbox doesn't care, to be honest.
Xbox
Out of the two, Xbox doesn't care. It's Sony that are the ones where it's like, obviously we know Spider-Man Miles Morales or whatever launch title, that's fine. Still got no release date for Horizon. I'd imagine that at least within a year after launch.
Yeah, is that Ratchet and Clank game on launch?
Maybe, maybe not. That could be a big one for around Christmas time when the kiddies are about and all the rest of it and whatnot. But it's not my cup of tea.
No.
Like, as a game, it looks fantastic, but that's just not my kind of game.
Yeah.
But yeah, there isn't any sort of like, I can completely where everyone's coming from, where it's like, oh, there's no big thing. But there's also, when I've obviously got the machines, there's almost, for me, a bit of a relief where it's like, right, that's them sorted. I don't have to worry about getting one of them. I can just buy the games whenever they sort of come out. And like I said before, I'm going to be quite happy. Yeah, I'm going to be quite happy with. Well, at least we know with Xbox, they're talking. I think most of their upgrade stuff is all like slot-in cards and stuff, isn't it?
Well, that's just for extra storage, isn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise if they did that for something else, though. I mean, obviously, going way back, you had the power pack for the N64. And like going back even slightly before that, you had the weird cartridge that you plugged into the back of the Sega Saturn that gave the machine a bit of a boost.
Yeah, it gave it some extra
Which you
RAM,
actually,
didn't it? Yeah.
yeah, which you needed for certain games,
Yeah, there's
such
a
as
couple of
like
fighting games.
Marvel, the Marvel games and stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah,
Like-
yeah.
or
And
X-Men versus Street Fighter, I think it was, or something like that.
mm,
So yeah, they are quite capable of doing that. And to be honest, if they're going to be making like these fucked up console hybrids, they might as well do that. To be honest, because then like you're going to pull more people in, knowing that well, if there is an upgrade, it's just a thing you stick in the back and it's done,
Yeah.
rather than having to buy it and go and buy a brand new system.
yeah,
Which would kind of make more sense as well, maybe from the hardware manufacturers themselves, because don't they lose money on pretty much the consoles they sell? They just
Yeah, pretty
basically make the
much.
money off the games. Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna
we'll
sp-
see. I mean,
yeah.
I'll be happy enough anyway, just playing
Mm.
Cyberpunk on like the best
Yeah,
it could
definitely.
be on a console, or the various games like
Mm.
Cyberpunk and maybe Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. If like I still can't see how that game can't run at 60 FPS when it's on a system like 2 or 3 times more powerful
I
than
know,
than
but
the X. And the X already runs Assassin's Creed in 4K 30. So you're telling me the new one's going to be the same on a machine like way more powerful? We'll
yeah.
wait and see on that.
Okay, I'm just gonna move on to
Yeah, I
small
mean,
questions, mate. Sorry, because
yeah,
Tom's.
no, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Rods says just finished Yakuza 0 today, and I was pleasantly surprised. Which is the best Yakuza game?
That one, isn't it?
0 is very good, mate. It is brilliant. As I said earlier, it starts you on your journey. But I really enjoyed. I enjoyed them all, to be honest. But my
Is Yakuza
highlights.
0 known best because it's got like more weird things you can do in it compared to the other games?
Well, it has got some weird shit in it, but it's just that story. It's the beginning of the story, of the main characters, of Kiryu and Majima, but I love them all. But I loved Kiwami 1 and 2, absolutely fantastic, and Yakuza 6 was really really good as well. I mean, they were all good, but yeah, my highlights would be 0, 1 and 2, and 6. Yeah. Okay, cool. Facebook, I only had a few on there. Skip Paul's because he's talked about Halo. Ben, I don't have kids that are old enough, Ben, but I'm just going to shout this out. What do the dads do when their kids start kicking off and shouting at friends while playing games? I've one who's 7 and one who's 10, so I'm guessing you already know which games. I'm going to say Fortnite. I don't know, mate. I'll get to it when I come to it, right?
Yeah, it's actually quite hilarious. I've obviously been playing Fortnite with Goose,
Yeah.
but his nephew's got it as well because obviously he's like, I think he's like 8 or 9, something like that. And he'll come in and play Save the World with us lot, but he's always like, I'm bored. This is boring. Like that, and he's always like, come and play Battle Royale, and we're like, no. And then I said to get like after he's sort of like gone off or whatever, and I said, oh, he's quite restless, and he said, yeah, but when he said when he gets on the Battle Royale, all he does is shout his head off at it.
I know.
And it's like, I was like, so what's the point? I said, he's not enjoying it then, is he? And it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, I
Might
guess.
as well be in a party chat with you, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, I used to drive people out of party chats with my screeching back in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a hard one, isn't it? Really. Obviously, you tell them off, and it's mainly the noise. It's not so much the abuse.
Well,
it's just like
what
keep
you
it
can
down
do
'cause
is
you're
just
trying
take
to chill out.
what you can do is just take the consoles away if they're being dicks.
I did see a funny thing on Twitter actually this week where someone had basically said kids were acting up, so I took their PS4 controllers and stuck them in the bottom oven to hide them, so they wouldn't be able to find them in the morning. And the wife came in and turned on the oven, not realising. And there was these melted controllers in the oven. I don't know what to tell the kids. And he said, if not, it's going to cost me about £100 to replace.
Oh dear. Just going back to the console upgrade thing. 'Cause some people are in the chat. Like Byron has made a good point that he's just excited to have just more raw power, and I think a lot of people are in that position. They're not really bothered about game exclusives at launch, so they're just looking forward to those cross-gen games just looking a lot better and running at a
Yeah,
higher
it is
frame
nice.
rate.
Yeah, it is always nice to have that, like
Yeah.
that show game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is the game why you want this system,
Yeah.
kind of a thing. I mean, it was even going way back. Like, you'd have people, oh, Xbox, yeah, what's this? This is fucking Halo, mate. You know what I mean? Sort of like, oh, this is pretty good, isn't it? And it's like,
Yeah.
this is why you might want to get one of these systems. Or like even say Dead or Alive, which back then I think it was Dead or Alive 3, looked phenomenal
Yeah.
for a fighting game back then.
Yeah, and I can totally get that aspect that Byron's mentioned, because I've done the mid-cycle upgrades on my consoles, and I can see it. As a PC gamer, I certainly see that, because I can play all the latest games, at low settings, or I could upgrade my graphics card so I can play them all at ultra. But I'm still playing the same game. It's just looking a lot more pretty with higher frame rate. So I do get that 100%. So it's something that I do actually
speaking
forget
of
about
which,
sometimes.
Yeah, have you heard that I've heard a rumour, I'm not too sure how true
Heard
it
a
is.
rumour.
Yeah, about a game you've been playing and finished.
Which one's that?
That's
Control?
not actually getting. That's the one
Yeah.
that you've got to actually pay for to get the proper upgraded versions of. You won't be able to do the sort of like, oh, if I play this on that system, it'll just be better. It's like, no.
Yeah, it's a strange one.
Fuck you, pay me.
The only way you get the cross-gen upgrade is if you buy the Ultimate Edition. So if you buy the Ultimate Edition on Xbox or PlayStation, you get the next gen version of the game. But if you don't buy the Ultimate Edition, then you're out of luck. It's weird, isn't it? That's a weird way of doing it.
Yeah, I wonder if Microsoft will like slip in there and just stick that Ultimate Edition in Game Pass to get around that.
Well, I need.
Because the game's coming up. Yeah, well, the game's coming up to about a year old now, anyway, isn't it? Didn't it come out at the end of last year, or just before the end of last year? So.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pretty much imagine. I'd imagine that the new consoles are going to come out, just as a guess, considering
November.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla is out November 17th, and Cyberpunk is out November 19th.
Yep.
Around that couple of weeks, around that date.
Definitely. They'll be out in November.
And COD will usually... Have we actually seen or heard anything of
there's
the
some
new
rumours
COD
about
yet?
COD, but I can't actually... I think someone's got access to like a screen...
Black Ops or something, isn't it?
on an Xbox, like a closed beta screen grab or something.
But it's weird. We've usually heard that a lot earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got the new Rocksteady game reveal this week, I believe. Or is it end of this week or beginning of next?
Yeah. I think it's this week.
So that'll be interesting to see whether that's focusing on this gen or next gen. But again, that game's going to be cross-gen anyway, I imagine.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of leaving a lot of money on the table, considering there's a lot of PS4s and Xbox Ones about. And I don't think a lot of people are going to be taking the leap.
No.
At the end of this year.
Well, it's just the country's in a recession now as well. Not everyone. A lot less people have the spare cash to be dropping 500-600 quid or whatever on a brand new games console. So. And
that's if I can see, like I said before, I can see the PS5 being quite expensive, but I can see the Xbox being the cheaper one of the two. And like I said, if they manage to slip in the Series X for around the same price as what they were charging for the normal X when it first came out, which might be why they're phasing that out.
Yeah, 450. Yeah.
Then,
Interesting, mate. Okay, last question from Robin Fahy. Is everyone getting the new Flight Sim? Microsoft Store or Steam? I've heard good and bad about each. Already bought mine on Steam. Well, it's on Game Pass, dude, so I've got mine on the Microsoft Store. I can't wait. I can't wait for it to fully come out. Obviously, I've been playing it in beta, and it's
Oh, is
fantastic.
it beta at the moment? Is it?
Yeah, but it's out. It's out on Tuesday, officially, properly
Oh,
out on
right.
Tuesday, the
Fair
18th.
enough.
So, yeah, I got into a closed beta at the beginning of the month, and I've been enjoying it. Yeah, it's good. That's all the questions, my dude. And we've been
cool.
an hour and 15. Not too bad.
No.
Not too bad for an off week. So
Probably still missed out some interesting news stories as well.
probably it's too much
As
going
per
on, isn't
usual.
there? Too much going on. Yeah, I haven't really been gaming much in news because I've been watching a lot of TV shows. I mean, the missus in the last couple of weeks have binged Lock and Key on Netflix, which was really good.
That's based on a comic series, I think.
Apparently so, and it was gripping, start to finish, gripping, absolutely fantastic. I think there's a new season being made of that, so that's cool. And then we literally binged on Amazon Prime in like 2 or 3 days, The Boys.
Ah.
You seen that?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen
so
most
brilliant. Yeah, I couldn't believe how fucking brilliant it was. There's a new season coming out in September as well, so I think we kind of watched it at the right time because, you know, it'll still be quite fresh in my mind for, you know, for next month, so...
It's just one of those sort of things where you watch. You know, when you sometimes watch certain programs and you just like have certain people playing certain parts, and you just think,
Yeah.
you're fucking perfect for that.
Yeah, like
Like
the...
Homelander.
Yeah, I was going to say Homelander.
Perfect actor. Like,
Yes, yeah.
Just that part of like sinister and smug and like
Yeah,
goody two shoes, like, and sort of dark as fuck, all rolled
Yeah.
into one
Yeah,
sort
that's
of
it.
thing.
yeah, brilliant shows. So,
Season 2 of that will be out soon.
yeah, looking forward to that. So, yeah, because I normally game in the evenings, but I've been because I've been working from home and I sit in front of my PC for 12 hours, I just kind of want to just sit on the sofa and just veg out and watch a bit
So
of telly.
you've gone into my mindset there. So it's like,
Yeah.
if I'm off, I'll sometimes get up about 7 in the morning and I'll do all my gaming then.
Yeah.
And then by the evening, it's like, I don't want to game. I just want to relax and
Yeah.
watch a film or
Yeah.
TV show or whatnot
Yeah.
and just chill out.
Yeah, it's on work days. I don't really game in the evening because I just don't want to sit at my computer desk anymore. So, you know.
Have you got a proper computer chair or?
Yeah, it's comfy as fuck. But it's just, you know, I could game on my consoles if I wanted, but I just, because it's just the fact I'm at a computer. It's not the fact I'm gaming or anything like that. It's just I just don't want to be. I just want to sit and just
Not concentrate.
yeah, just not move or engage really. You know, just watch something. So yeah, that's all right. Anyway, I think we should end it here. Thank you very much for coming on, Darren. It's been awesome.
Cool.
Thank you to everyone on the Twitch stream for viewing. I mean, it was short notice. I was surprised we got anyone on, to be honest. I think I announced it about an hour before we were going to do it, Darren. So, yeah, it's cool. So, yeah, so from me, Mark Webb, Gamer Tag, PS1D, Steam ID, Webby, 360G.
And Sweaty Switch.
So thank you very much. Don't forget to visit the website 360gamercast.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Webby360G or at 360gamercast. Join our Discord. It's awesome. A link will be in the show notes, or if you can't be asked to look at that, just ping me a message on Twitter or something and I'll send you the link. And a Facebook group, just search for 360gamercast. Good times. So thank you very much. We will see you next week. Goodbye.
Whee.
Whee.
And it actually will be next week as well, won't it?
It will be. It will be next week. Yes. We'll be
And no
interested to
doubt
see
we've
who comes
probably
on.
heard every week we're like, oh, we'll hear something about the console release date soon. We'll hear something about the prices
I know.
soon.
I know.
Slowly, we're just inching forward and forward. I'm sure wondering if anyone's actually getting to the point where you just like people in boardrooms are like just going, fuck it, should we just delay it until next year?
Mm.
Like at this point. Like the obviously Microsoft won't care about doing that because you can buy, obviously, like I've done Assassin's Creed and Cyberpunk on the Xbox, and I'll be able to play them on the X, and then it'd just
Yeah.
be when I traversed across to the other system, they'll work on that as well. But I don't think, obviously, PlayStation will be as happy with that. But then again, they've had like a lot of success this year with their own first-party stuff anyway, like Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah, big
I'm
time.
sure there was another one they had out this
They'll have
year as well, wasn't
remasters.
there? I'll tell you what though, what is shifting a lot of PS5s, which is what I keep seeing, is that Demon's Souls remaster
Yeah,
or
that
remake.
looks good, man.
There's
Yeah.
so many people excited for that.
Yeah, it'll be. I mean, I played the original, and it was hard as balls, so I'm not going to pick it up again.
Not even to
No,
experience to see if they've like changed it
no.
or.
I'm.
Well, actually, no, they
yeah.
can't have changed it because that'll upset people, won't
Yeah.
it? So.
I mean, I've already decided I'm not going to get any of the next gen systems for a while. I'll probably pick up a PS5 maybe a year in, maybe a little bit more. It depends because I've noticed a few PlayStation exclusive games have hit PC, so I'm wondering if next gen that happens more. Well, it'd be. I mean, if all the
There's a lot of people thinking that that's all a marketing ploy to try and get more people like with the Horizon, is
yeah.
try and get a lot more people invested in that series. So when the new system comes out, it's like, I really want to play the second game. Let's get a PS5 then.
Yeah, the problem is on the PC the PC version of Horizon is it hasn't been optimized very
glitches,
well, so
didn't
it's
it?
glitchy as fuck apparently. So yeah, bit shit really.
Which did Death Stranding have the same issue?
No, Death Stranding. I mean, I've not played it, but my mate has been playing. He said it runs perfect. It runs. He gets like 120 frames on it, or ultra settings, and it looks stunning. It's just a perfect port. It's like, with the Forza games, like Forza Horizon. I mean, that's a gorgeous game, and that's optimized really well on PC. It looks
the thing I
stunning.
can think of with that then is obviously they're both Horizon and Death Stranding are running on the Decima engine.
Mm.
So the only thing I can think of is obviously Death Stranding was always known as like a timed exclusive for PlayStation. So they're obviously working on the PC one alongside
Yeah,
the PS4, whereas obviously Horizon wasn't. They've just ported it
yeah,
as best they could.
yeah. It seems that way.
Because it seemed weird that obviously Death Stranding didn't really seem to have any issues.
Yeah, I mean,
And Horizon sort of did, and Horizon's an older game, and I imagine Death Stranding's probably got a lot more working stuff in it with how the game is, with all of the interactions from other players and the building stuff and all the different items you can find in the world that other players have dropped, etc., etc.
yeah. There's been a few other games on the Epic launcher that have been Sony exclusives. What was that? That one where you play as the robot. Oh, the fucking name just escapes me.
The robots.
Yeah, it's like the robot world, and the fuck is it called? It's by the same guys who did Fahrenheit.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Detroit Become Human.
Yeah, that's on PC as well.
Yeah, was that actually marketed as a PlayStation exclusive?
Well, those games have always been Sony games, haven't they? Like PlayStation games.
Yeah, I suppose so. Fahrenheit wasn't though, was it? That was across. That was on Xbox.
That was on everything. Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean.
But because there's other games have come out on Epic as well. That Souls or something? Between Souls or I can't fucking remember. You play as the girl.
Yeah, that's the same developer, isn't it?
And the other one.
What's it?
Jason.
Yeah. Personally, I think they were fucking idiots to let them go.
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you get that Man of Medan DLC thing that was free, apparently?
What? I didn't know
There's
there was
like
any
a
DLC for it.
There's a curator's cut of the game, apparently.
What?
Which is like a different... But yeah, I saw it on PlayStation, so I imagine it's on the other versions as well.
Really?
Yeah, have a look it up. while
Oh
I'm
no, because
looking
I've got
for
it on Xbox. I've got the main game on the Xbox. I mean, everyone has now because of Game Pass, but I bought it on that. I mean, I know that because the sequel's been delayed. Little Hope, it's called.
Oh, strange enough, Detroit's right next to Horizon. Yeah, only on PlayStation. The lying market.
I don't
Mind
see
you,
anything
Street
of it.
Fighter 5 got only on PlayStation on it as well, because that
Yeah.
launched on... No.
I don't know. I don't know, mate. Anyway,
Oh.
what's really weird is we've ended the podcast and now we have the most Twitch viewers that we've had the whole time.
Fair enough.
Byron, which game were you saying it's worth getting? Sorry, mate. Was it Detroit Become Human? Because that's really good.
We was talking about that. And
yeah.
there was another game I suddenly thought of as well, but then we went off topic and it threw me out.
Oh, there's lots of good games out there, man. But yeah.
There's a lot of good ones coming towards the end of the year as well. Oh, can I just say something? If you're unemployed from this coronavirus thing, or you've been laid off because of after the furlough and all the rest of it, just know someone out there got paid to design the new EA fucking box arts for their games. Like, it is ghastly. It looks like something from like the Mega Drive era. Like, just look at the front cover art for you. Just look at the cover art for the new UFC game.
UFC, what's it called?
I think it's UFC 4. Just put in UFC PS4 or whatever, and it should come up. But yes, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the same on the Xbox as well, mate. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And that's their design for all of their sports games going forward. They're all going to look like that. FIFA, NHL.
That looks shit.
NBA. It's just, I was just like, oh my god. Oh well.
There we go.
Not my cup of tea at all, but yeah, someone got paid for that.
Fuckers.
To design that, and someone else went, yeah, that's good. Pay that man or woman.
Don't assume their gender, Darren. Oh,
well,
dear.
strangely enough, like it was a woman who wrote the entire Shadowbringers story.
Oh, there we go.
No, Japan have got loads of really quality female writers.
Nice. Nice. Right, dude, I'm going to jump out because I'm tired.
No worries.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I've been up since 4:30, so...
Yeah, well, you've had a longer day than me.
Fade.
And I'm going to have a hot chocolate, watch some TV and then go to bed.
I usually have a coffee before bed. I know a lot of people find that weird.
That is weird because you're boosting your body with caffeine before you nod off.
Yeah. My parents used to do the same thing. They'll wake up in the morning and have a tea, but then they'll have a coffee before bed.
Weird.
And I'm usually like, wouldn't it be easier to have a coffee in the morning and then a tea before bed?
And look, we are gamers has just said hello. Mate, we're finished. We're
How
off.
do you do?
We're going to go.
Well, he'll be able to listen to it back when you release the...
Well, yeah, I
thing
mean,
in
the
a day or
recording will be
so.
on Twitch straight away anyway, so...
Oh, right, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Cool.
That's quite mad, the way it does that.
I know.
Like, it doesn't Twitch do it a lot, because obviously it's once you've finished, it's done, you can go and rewatch it back.
Yeah, that's
Whereas
it.
on YouTube, it has to upload it afterwards, doesn't it? It can take a while.
Yeah, well, I actually upload this straight to the YouTube channel as well from Twitch, which is good. So.
I will say that what did give that Fall Guys a massive boost this past week is old
Dr. D?
Dr. Disrespect and PewDiePie have been playing it.
Yeah, Dr. D, man, he's made a big return there. Fuck, I'm
and
so jealous.
obviously he's a pretty well-known streamer, and obviously PewDiePie will pull in millions of views for pretty much any of the videos he puts out.
Yeah.
Like the money that dude must make.
I know.
Like for each video he puts out, it's mental. Like there are TV shows out there, professionally made TV shows that don't even get a third of the views a single one of his videos
I know.
gets.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Cray cray and the hey hey. Right, dude, I'm actually going to go now. I need to
All right, no worries.
sort myself out. But it's been good talking to you, Darren. It's been awesome.
Yeah, and you, mate.
Thank you very much.
I'll speak to you in the week, if not at the weekend.
Yeah, I'll be around, mate.
I'm off next weekend. Thank Christ.
Nice.
So.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, then.
I'll talk to you soon.
All right,
mate.
take it easy.
See you later.
See ya. Bye.
Bye. Bye.